Woo.
Hopefully I'm not gonna miss and he's not gonna cry. You seeing it all right?
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Well, so, as you can see, I got my blood drawn. Hopefully that wasn't too gross for some people. But actually, as soon as I left, well, not maybe like 5 minutes after I left the hospital to get my blood drawn, I got a call from the donation coordinator, and she told me that we had finally confirmed a date for the surgery, October 21st. So I went to the, right after that, we scheduled a pre-op appointment. So I went to the pre-op appointment, and that was really simple. Actually, it was really nothing except them going over how the whole thing's gonna work, giving me lots of paperwork, which I have here. Um, the doctor showed me my CT scan, which was pretty cool. I got to see what my kidneys looked like. You could see all the arteries. You could see the kidneys where they sent the fluid stuff in that kind of lights everything up. So I could see the arteries. I could see my kidneys. I could see my little tiny wiener. Um, I did have to get my blood drawn 2 more times when I was there, which I was not expecting. That was probably the only bad part about the whole pre-op trip was getting my blood drawn 2 more times. There was one time with 8 vials, I think they did, and then another time with 4 vials. And I wasn't expecting that, so I had not eaten anything. I barely had any sleep, and after that, I could actually feel, the wooziness and everything. That was unpleasant. But other than that, the whole trip was pretty simple. The doctor showed the CT scans. I talked to the donation coordinator. She went over, the whole process of what time the surgery is going to be, um, what they're going to do to me before the surgery, how apparently they're going to give me something called happy juice, which will basically get me really high before the surgery, which I hope I can record that because that'll be funny, I'm sure. But I think she probably said that by the time they give that to me, I'll be like in the actual operating room. So that's probably not going to happen. But there's always hope. We went over a lot of paperwork, which is really nothing special, just this brochure and self-care basically saying, hey, don't be stupid. If you're in a lot of pain, tell us. The advance directive, which is, I think, something they give for every surgery or anytime you're going to be in the hospital for a few days. It's in case you go into some random crazy coma or something and you need to write down, who you want to make your medical decisions for you. A little thing explaining that I have to shower 2 times before the surgery to make infection, or the chance of getting infection, as low as possible, which probably won't happen anyway. I think only recipients really have to worry about that, but blah, blah, blah. Then this thing, which is just the paperwork for scheduling the surgery, I guess. 5:30 a.m. Oof. Then, oh yeah, this is another thing. They're really cool at this hospital. They actually gave us a whole tour of the operating unit. They call it the trauma unit, I guess, or R5. They basically showed us around. They showed us where the kitchen was, all the rooms, where the waiting room was. They have a laptop in every room, so you can go on the computer and not be bored as hell when you're in the hospital for 2 days, which is cool. But yeah, so they give us this little booklet explaining that whole thing, and they gave me Apparently, the biggest problem that donors have after surgery is not being able to poop. So, the donation coordinator was nice enough to print out this thing, which basically shows a whole bunch of steps that you follow. And all the steps are basically to make your poop very soft and mushy. So that way it can just fall right out of you. Because if it doesn't, and you get constipated, and you have to, you went out of the hospital and you haven't pooped for 4 or 5 days, then you have to go back to the hospital. And I don't remember the exact term she used for it, but it was very horrifying. I think she said forced disembowelment, which just sounds awful. And then finally, she printed out some statistics about the 2 transplant centers that are doing obviously the one I'm doing, and then another one. I think the person that my kidney's going to is from Pennsylvania, I guess, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So that's kind of cool, because I don't know who the recipient is for me, but I know they're in Pennsylvania, so that's neat. This is Pennsylvania one. It's mine for Maine. And I think that's about everything. So yeah, the whole pre-op appointment was pretty simple, just lots of paperwork. Take your blood 2 more times. I think I have to get my blood drawn another time right before the surgery, or no, after the surgery, to check my kidney function and stuff. So in total, that'll be 9 times I've gotten my blood drawn for this so far. Oh, that's rough. But other than that, so far everything's been pretty simple, pretty easy. Oh, that reminds me. After the surgery, or during the surgery, I'll be in the hospital for about 2 or 3 days. But because the surgery is at 5:30 and the hospital's so far away, I'm going to be getting there a day earlier and staying in a hotel. Something that I've heard a lot of people talk about, or a lot of people say for a reason that, they want to donate their kidney, but they can't because they can't afford it, because they can't afford to not work for so many days or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But actually, something I didn't even know about is I probably shouldn't show my card number on here. It's fine, I'll do it anyway. If you do, need financial assistance, there's actually something called the Living Donations Assistance Program, which basically they'll pay for your hotel, they'll pay for your food, they just give you a card like this, and they'll just pay for everything. Well, about everything, unless you want to go buy an Xbox or something, then they won't pay for that. But they'll pay for expenses like that. They won't pay for, your rent or anything. But what they will do is they'll, based on mileage and how many days you'll be in the hotel and blah, 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 a certain percentage of the amount of money that they'll give you can be withdrawn from an ATM. So you could certainly use that money to help pay your rent or whatever else you're doing. Of course, it's going to depend on how much they give you. But for me, they give me $1,200, so I can withdraw $300. Now, I mean, I don't really know. I don't work there. But I would think that $1,200 is actually a small amount, considering I told them at first when I filled out the application I'll be in the hospital for 2 days, but I'll actually be there or I'll need a hotel for 2 days, but I'll actually need a hotel for 3 or 4 days. So they only gave me $1,200, but like the lady said on the phone, if I need more, I can just call her and she'll put more money in there for the hotel and stuff. So I think it's like 25% or whatever they give you that you can withdraw. So I think I got a total from all the trips and appointments and everything. I think they gave me a total of $6,000 total. So that's like, I'm bad at math. What was it like? I think 1,600 or 1,500, somewhere around there. The amount I could withdraw from an ATM. So, that's definitely something that'll help you if you're afraid you can't donate your kidney or something because of financial problems. That's just apply for the Living Donor Assistance Program. They approve pretty much everyone because there aren't that many donors in the first place. So yeah, that's really cool. And I think that's about everything. So in a week from now, 6 days from now, October 21st, I'll be donating my kidney. The next time you see me, I'll either be high from the happy juice, which hopefully that's what you get to see, or I'll be laying in the hospital bed. Probably not in a lot of pain. I think I'll still be high on morphine the first time I wake up, but I'll definitely keep you updated. Bye bye.